Well, this is the first time that I've attempted to put a video together dealing with my hobby, collecting old, unique, antique, vintage, lamps. I'm actually a retired collector. I've been collecting for a few years. Uh, I might add that whenever you get these lamps from auctions and different aspects like that, that they're not serviceable, they're not in great working order. And so one of the things I had to do was to learn how to take and rebuild, repair, replace things, on these lamps and lights that we have out there. Right now, in this particular area where I live, and I actually live in the Austin, Texas area, uh, anything unique, pulleys, dangling lights, those are real big right now. But again, I really enjoy working on uh, lamps that I find that need repair. I've actually had two people that have come to me off of my Facebook page and asked me to rebuild some lamps for them. One particular lady, she had two of the George Washington Martha in the Vineyard ceramic lamps. And those two lamps were void of any other parts at all. Just the ceramic bodies is all that there was. And so asked me if I could take and rebuild them for her mother. Her mother's in her 90s. And I said, sure, I'd love to do it. And so I rebuilt those two lamps, put them out there, and again, just had a ball. I thoroughly enjoy it. I typically do it for not much more than the material cost. Again, being retired, I just need something to do, and I absolutely enjoy working with lamps of all shapes and sizes out there. I've learned a tremendous amount. Most of it was research. Uh, to going out there and researching and trying to determine the type of lamp and how this lamp worked, what type of shade actually would go on it, that type of thing. And so I've learned a lot. And one of the things I want to do is I want to take and before I start talking about the other lamps, is give you my contact information. Because there are many of you out there that are much more experienced at this than I am. And I don't mind somebody, shoot me an email or going on the web page and doing an instant message and say, hey, here's an easier way to do that. I'd love to be able to find easier ways to do some of the things that we have to do with these lamps. My email address, and this is the email address on my Facebook web page, where it has pictures of a lot of my collection on there. That email is Patterson, Patterson, Patterson Lamps, plural, one word, lowercase, no spaces, Patterson Lamps at gmail.com. And again, I may have gotten started without even really introducing myself. Again, my name is George Patterson. I live in the Austin, Texas area. Facebook, I have a page where, like I said, I put a lot of my lamp pictures out there of some of my collection. That Facebook page, again, is www.facebook.com. www.facebook.com/Patterson, Patterson, again, lamps, LAMPS, Patterson Lamps, one word. Again, if you do go out there and get a chance to look around at some of the lamps that I have in my collection, because I have some as old as 1866, take and if you feel inclined to, hit the like button. Do a reply, send a message. Again, good to hear from people. It's how I've got to meet the two people that I now have done some lamps for. I've actually rebuilt 6 lamps total. I'm working on my 7th one, and that's why I decided to do this video, is to take and show the whole process, and taking and trying to show the steps that we have to take: cleaning, tightening, replacing. Again, the light bulb fixture, the wiring, again, on the early 1900s, 1800s. 1800s had actually cloth wire, cloth insulated wire. And so again, it's got to be, before I can put it back out there, something safe that no one's going to get hurt, injured with. And again, you want a lamp that's going to be able to take and endure the decades to come. Again, that these can be handed down, in people's estates. So again, I mentioned the first one that I did, the first two actually, the George and Martha Washington in the Vineyard ceramic lamps. Completely redid them. I've got some pictures out on my Facebook page of that, lamps that I did there. One of the other things, besides doing repair and stuff, is when you get into a hobby like this and you get into it in the depth that I have. In fact, I find it kind of comical sometimes, because I've actually had someone say, "How did you get into lamps? How did you get into collecting lamps?" And I just kind of look at them and I go, "I don't know. The very first one that I ran into, I liked the way it looked, and I wanted it, and I bought it." And so since then, I've been adding to my collection. In fact, my collection is in a storeroom. I have to go down to the storeroom to be able to look at a lot of my lamps. I have some that are in my office and some that are throughout the house. That we enjoy, taking and piecing those lamps into our existing, home site. I literally have given a lot of lamps away to my children, my grandchildren, their families. If someone likes it, and their family, and they ask me, what would you take for that lamp? Nothing. If you'll enjoy it. Now, there's been a little bit of an exception in a couple of opportunities where whenever I took and gave a lamp away to a daughter-in-law and a son, and then I had just went blank, armoire from Europe. Again, 1860 time frame. There was not a screw, a nail anywhere in it. And son said, my wife would like to have that lamp on her desk, and I'd like to have that lamp on my desk, and we could really use an armoire right there. And he said, what would you sell them for? And I looked at him and I said, nothing. I says, why don't you back your truck in here, and we'll load that armoire in there, and while we're doing that, and I'll get boxes and secure the lamp and shades and stuff, and you can have them. I said, there's one stipulation. If you were to take and decide that you didn't want either one of those lamps or that armoire for any reason whatsoever, I said, I want first option to get it back, to be able to purchase it back, or just get it back, because you have no earthly idea how much they're worth. Some of these things are extremely expensive. And I've been extremely blessed to work on lamps that they were priceless. I mean, you couldn't replace them. And I really enjoyed doing that for people, being able to put these things back together. The video that we're going to be showing later on, I should say this is kind of a prep to a video. I actually have a 1940s Cardé China porcelain urn table lamp. It's kind of a cream ivory pink pastel color. It actually has some gold rings on it. uh, pink roses, green leaves, some yellow and blue accents. Again, Cardé actually came into existence and went into business in the central part of the United States in about 1940. And so this is all about the same time period. Looking at the cord and stuff, it's definitely a 1940s lamp, a ceramic lamp. And so I'm going to take and actually show how that thing was presented to me, what it looked like, and what I'm going to go through to take and rebuild and replace and repair everything on that lamp. That particular lamp, I do see where there's been a piece broken, been glued and crudely repaired. Take and touch it up just a little bit. I actually did for a second lady two wooden lamps. One was a table lamp, and then one was a floor lamp, very much like this one here, except it was made out of wood all the way top to bottom. Got those completely redone, put shades on them that they matched together. And then the third thing she had is she actually had from India a candlestick that was approximately 32 inches in height. And she wanted to convert that candlestick to a lamp and wanted to know if I could do it. And I said, sure could. And so she left it with me. I took and I made the boards that went all the way through. And again, had plenty of weight to it. Got the wiring through it, put the lamp on top. I also took and got the harp and the shade for that lamp. And it really, really turned out beautiful. And I've got those pictures out there also. And so then I got the next lamp was actually a one made in Italy. It had the markings and signature of Italy. It is a very tall, again, a very tall 32-inch lamp, ceramic. It has a raised flowers on it, just like this other ceramic one does, and has exterior vine and leaves. No real color, just the base color of white porcelain for that particular lamp. Now at the very top there was a little nick in it, and so I'm trying to do some repair there because I wanted to set the wood crown on top of it, take it on up, to the light bulb. And as I was playing around with that, sure enough, two pieces, about a little less than an inch, triangular shape, popped off. And so I had to do some repairs and get that put back on, and was able to get it done without really much of an indication that there had been a break there. So a lot of times there's breaks in these things that you have to be extremely careful. You have to work with them with kids' gloves. And so the lamp, once I got it completed, and again, I don't know how this is going to show up on this video, but I have a copy of the finished lamp. Again, you can see the floral, and again, all of that is ceramic, and it transitions up, and I found a shade for it. The two wooden lamps, this particular one that I was just showing you, tertiary type lamps, and I converted all of them at the owner's request to harp and lampshade. And so this lamp that I'm going to be working on, and again, watch for it, because I'll refer to it as the vintage Cardé porcelain urn table lamp rebuild and replace. And so once I get started on that, then I'm actually going to break it up into short little videos, taking and showing, taking it completely down. Everything is loose on it. Everything just spins and turns and just rattles, and I've got to take it completely apart, get it where I can start tightening that thing up, making sure I don't have any compromises in that porcelain. and where I can actually get it where I can start cleaning it. And what I'll do is take in each section of that process, do a video, and then put it out there and for people to see, some of the things that I've run into. And like I say, those of you that have experienced some problems and have worked through them, I encourage you to take and shoot me an instant message or an email, and give me a chance to take and learn from what have been able to do in the past. And again, just introduce myself, George Patterson, retired collector, antique, vintage, and unique lamps and lights. And I'll talk to you another time. Thank you.